Good morning. This may seem like an elementary topic, but I think there's a lot of people who don't know about it, which are a couple things you can do to improve the air tightness of your harp as you play it that are very simple adjustments that do make a difference. So I'll show them to you. And number one of them is I always recommend the use of slide oil. This is Hetman's Light Bearing and Linkage number 13. It's available online. It's a very high-grade synthetic lubricant. You just take and you put a teeny dot on your index finger like that, and you rub it on the slide. But that small amount of lubrication, I think, does help just a hair. But here's the other. You got to make sure, and I'm going to put it on the instrument here a little more, you got to make sure that these mouthpiece screws are on there correctly. Now, the best way I've learned to do it is butt your instrument up, like in this case, on, up against a sink, like that. And then you can take your screwdriver and as you go to tighten the mouthpiece screw, move that button in and out. And the minute it starts to grip a little bit too much, then you know you went too far. So just teeny increments, little teeny increments, little teeny. Let me come back here. We'll do the same thing, okay? So I'm going to wiggle this thing and see how tight can I go without impinging it. It's right to there. Okay. Now the other thing I do, which I've found works real well, is I'll take and put just a teeny drop of oil, slide oil, on this part here. And I've come to the conclusion that a good part of the friction on a slide must occur here, but not so much through this part. And that helps too. So, and then I'll wipe off the residue because I really don't want a lot of that sticking around there. This is nice because this applicator makes it very easy to put on. But now you've got a harp that is about as tight as we can get it. Now, of course, there are other things that you can do to tighten up a harp that are a lot more complex. You can sand the top of the comb if it's not flat, but that's done on glass with 500 grit sandpaper. You can do that. You can actually smooth the underside of the mouthpiece by taking it out and lapping it with a very fine compound like Colgate regular toothpaste. And you take the slide and you can put the slide on another comb with two-way tape and then just gently rub and bring that slide closer to the mouthpiece. I do that on Swans as an example. This one wouldn't need it. This is a Seidel Deluxe steel. Another thing you can do that you can do with the Swan is you can actually take the rounded mouthpiece right into the comb and tighten it up. And with that, you use lapping compound and just slide it back and forth. These mouthpieces are curved. That's not so easy to do when they're curved, but when they're flat, like on a Swan, you can. Those are just some other ways to tighten a harp. But I find that when the mouthpiece screws are correctly tightened, they really work well. You'll be amazed at how much those screws will loosen up. And I also want to mention that the Swans have a lower thread count, which means that there's fewer threads on the mouthpiece screws per inch, which means that they're not quite as precise when you go to turn them. They're, it takes it down more with a little movement. It makes it a little harder to do this. But on a Seidel, it's a very high thread count, so a teeny amount of movement of the screwdriver will make a noticeable difference. Hey, I hope that this helps you. And of course, I always recommend proactive cleaning of your harp. I find that if I can keep them clean, and just do it on a time basis, like every 10 hours, clean the harp as is described on the Facebook group Chromatic Harmonica Repair. It's in great detail there how to do it. That the instrument stays problem free. Once they start to really gum up, they're they're harder and harder to really get back to perfect new shape. So I do it on a proactive basis. You want to check that out too. Hope this helps you.